Collections.
Countrywide's on your side.
I know. No, that's nationwide.
Oh, Nationwide's on your
We're
side.
gonna cut that out.
No, it's in there.
Welcome to Simulated Podcast. Too good to be true.
Welcome back to Simulated Podcast, episode number 5. We got the first woman on my podcast. Yeah, word, woo! But for real, she is one of the top real estate agents in LA, former president of an 80-year Women's Council of Realtors. Welcome, Sheena Kapil. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for the amazing intro.
Thank you.
I feel good about myself right now.
You do? Okay, hell yeah. Okay, so I read a little bit about you earlier today, and it was the most wonderful thing, and you can add on to it. But I read early, and I almost cried reading this, but your mission is to educate the next generation of home buyers, which I am now, which I've done that process, and you helped immensely. You were like the number one supporter during those 18 months of me looking for it. But you're helping the next generation, helping them to start small and then eventually, grow their real estate portfolios. But tell me, where does all that come from? And tell me about your, real estate life and journey. This is your mic.
Okay. Well, thank you for the warm welcome. I appreciate it. Hello to the Simulated Podcast. It's an honor to be here, and the first woman and brown girl on top of that. I'll take it.
Let's
go. I'll take it all. Okay, so my journey in real estate actually started on the lending side. I started at Countrywide Home Loans in the B&C Collections.
Countrywide's on your side.
I know. No, that's nationwide.
Oh. Nationwide's on your side.
We're going to cut that out.
No, it's in there.
So, yes, I started off at customer service, calling people on the first of the month to make sure that they make their mortgage payment. I didn't understand the concept of why we were calling them on the day of their mortgage was due, but hey, I got paid to do it, so it is what it is. And then I had my best friend worked at a bank, Bank of America, next to another Countrywide office, and she's like, "Why do you go all the way to Simi Valley when there's one right here in Woodland Hills?"
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "These guys come with their paychecks and they're so big. How come yours are not?" And I was like, "Wow, thanks."
What am I doing wrong now?
Exactly. So I went to that branch to find out what the secret sauce was. Come to find out there was a retail mortgage office.
Okay.
So I made the switch, and training day was pretty crazy. This was during the refinance boom, and everyone was going nuts, kind of like what just happened
Yeah, refinance.
about 12 to 24 months ago.
Yeah.
Everyone was going crazy with the extremely low rates. So anywho, I was giving an application, and I was given a completed file, and the branch manager said, "Whatever was done to this closed file, you need to do to this application.
Okay.
Get it done." That was my training.
That was your training.
That was my training. So I had to pretty much speak to people in the office, find out what title report was, what is escrow instructions, what is a conditional loan approval, what's a pre-approval, what's a pre-qualification, what are the differences between all of them, what does the underwriter need, what does income documentation look like, what should I be showing the underwriter, what do I not really need to show the underwriter, all those kind of things. I just kind of got thrown into it. So
you had a training day kind of scenario or boot camp of how to become a real estate but honestly, a lot of people thrive in, a high stress environment. And was that your situation?
That was definitely my situation. I wouldn't have had it any other way. So I learned a lot from there. I took that experience to Bank of America. From there, I started working at a private brokerage. And I didn't realize what my job title was because I was always just labeled as an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently I was processing and funding. So learning the behind the scenes of what happens during a mortgage transaction or a loan transaction really helped me guide my clients today when I'm helping them on the real estate side. As far as what do they need to get pre-approved, how to get pre-approved. Once they get conditional approval, what do the loan conditions look like? Which ones are bullshit? Am I allowed to curse?
Of course, it's explicit. Okay. Yeah.
Which ones are bullshit? Which ones are not? Which ones are red flags? and just kind of hold their hand throughout the process, even though they have a lender. And I'm always happy to provide contacts that I work with. If they have a lender that they prefer, I'm happy to work with them as well. There's no sales pressure on my side. I'm here to benefit my clients, not to shove anything down their throat. So
And yeah,
that's
I can advocate for that. Sheetal, or I call her Sheetal, but Sheena's her nickname. She suffered with me, or not suffered with me. I made her suffer for
what do you mean?
18
We
months.
had so much fun
We had to
together.
go in rain in 115-degree like Fahrenheit weather just to find like the perfect house which the studio is being shot in. So thank you again. Like you're the best, and like I advocate for her. So if you are in the market for looking for a home, she is the one.
Well, thank you. You can cash that check now.
But okay, so back to your real estate journey. I guess so you had all that experience from the back end. At what point did you like, okay, now it's time for me to become a real estate, and how do you become a real estate agent?
Okay, so at some point the market crashed, and I said I never want to be in real estate again. Um, and then I worked on other projects with some mentors of mine, running businesses, private businesses. And then I decided a few years ago, I want to say maybe 5 to 7 years ago, I was like, you know what? I never really did the actual real estate part of it. I did the lending side. Why don't I give it a shot?
Yeah.
And I was still working my other job while doing real estate. And so you don't really get to dive in as much as you want to when you're doing it part time in this day and age to stay competitive or stay ahead of the game, I should say, as far as other agents that are out there consistently. They're on social media, they're promoting themselves, with their websites, the SEO, the farming, mailers, as a part-time agent, it's really hard.
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it's really hard. So you really have to make a decision on whether or not you want to take a deep dive. And once you do that, that's it. You're all in.
Yeah.
So I did that about, I want to say 3 to 5 years ago is when I was like, okay, I need to make this like a full-time thing. And it's been good ever since.
Tell me about your first sale. I want to hear about that experience.
Man, dang, can I remember my first sale? Actually, I helped a really big agent with some open houses. I was very fortunate to get a plug-in, an introduction
Mm-hmm.
to a top agent in the San Fernando Valley, well, Los Angeles, and yeah, and so that office called me one day and said, "Hey, you called, inquired about hosting an open house. We have a cancellation with one of our agents. Do you want to host it?" Sure, I would love to. So I was doing open houses, and I met a lovely couple during an open house and followed up with them, and they became my first sale. And it was so
Yeah.
awesome because I think that was my biggest dollar amount. It was
Nice.
over 2 million.
Whoa,
Yeah,
congrats.
just for a couple walking in. And I didn't really know what I was doing at that point, but I was just following my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Like how would I want to be greeted? How would I want to be taken care of? And I don't like to be pushed around, especially when you're looking to purchase something or when you're in a department store, you're at a car lot, at a dealership. I hate the pushy sales.
Mm-hmm.
So I always try to just get to know what someone is looking for and be their friend.
Yeah. I think I read that as well in your last published article, that you're just really trying to just empathize with them in a nutshell. And that's really beautiful. And I've seen that firsthand for sure. Um, but now back to, that covered the mission statement really well. So thanks for that background, like the next generation of home buyers, but really deep diving into like how to become, someone's like first choice in real estate agent. But tips for the next generation of home buyers, it's a wacky kind of economy. Like people are being laid off, people have a lot of money, and like interest rates are like close to 7%. If you go to the bank right now, federal is doing this
Is
and
that
that.
supposed to be high?
It's high. I don't know. See, it's high. So what was the lowest interest rate you saw in the last 2 years? I'm sure
I mean,
on a 30-year.
I've heard stories of people locking in rates at 2 something.
Oh my gosh.
That is just
We're near.
Unbelievable. And I don't know what that person's ever, they're never going to be able to refinance. I mean, how do you ever get that deal again?
Yeah. So what's your advice for someone who cannot effectively ever refinance at like, let's say 2.5%? What are their options?
Enjoy the ride while you can. That's all I got to say. You got a steal of a deal and enjoy it. But when it comes time to purchasing your next property to increase your portfolio, most likely you're not going to get that lucky, and you're going to have to get that out of your head. You found the unicorn, you got to let it go at some point.
Okay.
Now you can always do, you don't have to do a refinance. You can get a HELOC, a home equity line of credit.
Hmm.
Depending on which lender that you work with, it would be best to ask them what would be most beneficial. And everyone's situation is different, and also depends on how much equity you have in your property.
Okay. And then now interests are 7%. Are you saying just suck it up at this point?
Listen, everyone has a timeline on when they're going to purchase.
Hmm.
Right now, when you've been hearing people like, oh, yeah, I got 3 point something, I got 2 point something, I got 4 point something, and then you go to the pre approval table and you're like, get slapped with 7%, of course you're not going to feel good. But how much do you need to purchase a property? And I would speak to your CPA about that. What's your situation? Do you have a down payment? Do you not really have a down payment? Are you going through a first time home buyers program, right? There's so many different avenues
Hmm.
to reach your goal, and you have to speak to a broker or a loan officer or a home lending agent to help you make those decisions. I
Okay.
can only guide you on the path, but these are experts in their line of business to help you crunch those numbers. And that is very important.
Hmm.
Anyone that's even considering to buy a house, I don't care if you're considering to buy it next year, speak to a loan officer, crunch your numbers, and figure out what down payment do you need for your goal purchase price,
Okay.
or what can you afford now. It may be peanuts, but at least you know how many peanuts you have. And then you can make a plan of action to how to reach your goal for your next year purchase. But if you go in blind next year, start house shopping, and you go crash open houses, and you fall in love with the home of your dreams, and then you find out you can't afford it because you didn't file your taxes right,
Okay.
whose fault is it?
So your advice is grab a lender, get that finance situated.
Mm-hmm.
But in your experience, and I had a great professor in MBA school. He's like, the best way you can learn from something is from just asking someone who's in the field. So from your personal opinion, is it a good time to buy right now?
Everyone's situation is different,
Okay.
right? So is it a good time to buy right now? I mean, it may not be sexy as far as interest rates,
Hmm.
but if you're someone that's living in a rental or an Airbnb, and you're paying crazy fees, and you have the money to buy something, buy it. If you're in real estate for the long game, buy it. But if you're looking for something that's going to be a flip, then you got to be a little bit more selective of the type of property that you're looking for right now. If you're looking for a good investment that you're going to get a crazy return, right now may not be the best time.
Okay.
However, to me, if you're not able to enjoy a leap of equity in a short amount of time, at least if you're purchasing right now, consider it like a savings account. You're putting that money away into your home, you're paying your mortgage, and eventually that property is going to appreciate. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not even be next year, but 5 to 10 years from now, you will see that equity. And by that time, you'll already have a shift in lifestyle, whether you've gotten into a relationship, whether you've grown your family, whether you're downsizing, whether you're ready to increase your portfolio. That 5 years, you've been putting your money into your savings account, and now you can pull out that equity.
Yeah. And a lot of people just, they're quick to move. They're quick to leave, right? Like it's so bad. Like in the last 2 years, people just like left California and went into Texas, and even the California sun just left us in the last couple of months.
Damn,
And California
that's
says
me.
like, yo, it's June. Nah, no sunlight for you. Like the longest year of the longest day of the year is coming up next week. And the sun's like, no, peace out.
Well,
A-town.
I think the
Doot, doot.
sun's actually going to show up for that event.
Okay.
I think so.
The solstice
Maybe
is
after the
coming up.
rain for the next couple days, or the drizzle.
What? The drizzle?
The drizzle, because
drizzle,
it's not
drizzle.
really raining right now. It's just
True, true,
drizzling,
true.
right?
Yeah, but since California is so expensive, and I just found this out, and please elaborate on this. So you can use a real estate agent to also help you find a lease. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
Yeah.
tell me about that.
So, I mean, it really depends on what your guidelines are and what you're looking for. Any real estate agent can help you with that. Of course, from a realtor's perspective, there is more benefit for um, guiding someone on a purchase of a home than a lease. But I always help my clients with leases.
Okay.
I never have any issues with that.
Did not know that. I just found that
Yeah.
it's new information to me, and I was actually gonna tell you a story. So it's hard to determine whether to, hey, is it time to rent? Is it time to buy? You know, when you have the money. So I have a friend. His rent over the calendar year is about $25,000 a year,
Okay.
and he's looking at a house where his interest is now $45,000. He's like, it's crazy if I buy, but
Interest
then
only, or is his mortgage?
interest only, which is nuts, right?
Okay. So obviously, you would have to consult with the CPA, but part of your mortgage interest is you're able to write it off,
Okay.
right? I'm not saying the whole amount. Obviously, it's going to be a certain amount. It really depends on his situation. Now, if he's a single guy and he's, renting, a studio or a one bedroom, along with that, his expenses are limited as well.
Yep.
But if he starts moving into a home, his expenses are probably going to double. Just based on the payment alone, that doubles. And then you
Mhm.
have your utilities, maintenance to run a home. If there's a significant other in the picture, she's probably going to want to go crazy on the decorating. That's also an expense.
Mhm.
So it really depends on the individual. So I always tell my clients, like, if you're not ready to buy, don't force it.
Yeah.
If it seems right to rent right now, then that's fine. And
Yeah.
I'm happy to go over their credit report with them to just kind of show them like, hey, you need to work on this, 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 this. This is how much you should start working on putting aside on a monthly basis. And if you need any help with credit repair, I can refer you. If you want to speak to a loan officer, I can refer you just to crunch your numbers.
Yeah.
We're not trying to get you to buy a house right now. This is just fact finding mission.
Yeah.
So when your lease is up, you can make that executive decision on for you and your family, whether it's like, okay, should we extend our lease, or maybe we should do a little house shopping and just kind of see where we're at with that.
And then also, exactly what you pointed out, that when you buy a house, I call them unforeseen costs, where like you buy a house and then,
Do you know about these?
yes, it was nuts.
Have you recently experienced?
Yes, I've
something
really experienced. All right, I'm gonna just go through like off the top of the dome. I moved in. Mom's like, we should paint the house. I'm like, I did not budget for that. Paint $3,000, warranty of $750, and then just like
Wait, your home warranty?
for the year.
No.
I
You
owe-
didn't pay for your home warranty.
Yeah.
No, that was part of your closing.
I know I paid for it.
How did you pay for your home warranty?
I
That
got it
was part of your
separately.
closing.
No, I paid it separately.
Are you talking about your home insurance?
Oh, you're right. You're right. Sorry, but still, it's
I was
in
like,
there.
oh, hell
It's still in
no.
there, right?
I made sure that was taken care of.
Regardless, home warranty $750, insurance $1,000 for the year roughly. Like, what was the other thing?
Move-in costs.
Move-in costs. I had to get
Cleanup.
movers. I was about like I don't even know, just under $1,000.
Mhm.
Then I had to deep clean the house. Like there's kids that moved in here, that were here previously.
Yeah.
So carpet, all that stuff. That was another couple $100, right?
Yep.
And I'm just like, I ran out of money. So it
And
adds
then
up.
starting your utilities, whether or not they need a deposit.
Yep. So
If you wanted to get new appliances, new furniture,
yep.
right? Because then all of a sudden, wherever you were staying, well, that furniture worked for that place,
Yeah.
but now you got a new spiffy spot, right?
Yep.
Got
You gotta
fresh paint on the
upgrade.
walls. You
Gotta
can't be putting an old couch in front of it.
Yeah, Ashley's furniture trips. I had to go to IKEA like 1,000 times, and Home Depot's my best friend. Honestly, I should open up a credit card. So it's nuts. Oh my god. So yeah, my advice actually for anyone who's looking for a home, just I don't know, unforeseen costs got to have a couple K on you. Like it's you can anticipate it sometimes. But what is your advice for if you had one thing that you could say for a new home buyer, what would it be today?
Don't feel the need to rush into buying everything you need for the home.
Okay.
Enjoy the process. Work room by room. It's okay to have an empty home. There's nothing wrong with it. There is no shame in taking your time to furnish, because I feel like, people are so pressured into making sure their home is entertainment ready.
Yeah.
That you forget to enjoy the process of furniture shopping and artwork shopping. Like, don't buy artwork because it's like, oh, we need just something on that wall and it matches the furniture. No, like buy something that speaks to you, but take your time with it. Same with the furniture. You're also learning to live in the new space.
Yeah.
What if you don't like the dining room in that area? Maybe you want to change it. Okay, now the dining room set that you just bought doesn't fit in the new space you want to put it in. So you got to enjoy the growing pains of your new home, whether big or small.
Yep.
Enjoy it. And your friends, if they're your real ones, will understand when they come over and maybe they need to sit on the floor. Have a Moroccan party. I don't know what it
Mm-hmm.
is. Throw some sleeping bags on the floor.
Yep.
Make it fun, but don't put that pressure on yourself where you just bought a house. Now you have a mortgage, you have utilities, maintenance, and now you have to focus on entertaining. No, don't
It's
do
too
that.
much.
Yeah.
It's too much. But you're such a good real estate agent and such a hardworking one, an efficient, effective one. Where does that passion, where does that energy come from? Did you have a supporter in your life?
Okay, so I started hustling very young. My parents split when I was in junior high. That's when things started getting really rocky. So high school is when I started working, small jobs, just have some pocket money. Eventually, when I got into the lending side, I was helping support my mom and my sister. Just because my father at the time was the breadwinner,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom was just working part time, just as pocket money, and for small expenses. So I really had to step up, and I had to step up quick. So my number one supporter is my mom. Because of her is pretty much the reason why I'm a hustler, and I will work to the bone if I need to. I do tend to burn myself out,
Yeah.
which I need to learn a work life balance. Although I've heard there really isn't a work life balance. It's just
I don't
really
know.
how you can handle it. Um, yeah, I mean, she's pushed me through everything. And along the way, my sister has been my number two
Mm-hmm.
and tends to be my number one at times also.
Shout
But
out to your
without
sister. Yeah.
those two, I don't know where I'd be right now.
Thanks for sharing that. You didn't have to, but thanks for sharing that story. I'm sure it made you who you are today, right? All those rough battles are made you such a hustler like you described. So
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get thrown into certain situations, and I feel like it's God's way of testing how much you can handle.
yeah. But now
Apparently,
that
I
you're
can handle a lot.
yeah. Yeah, again, that work life balance it really boils down to how much can you really give a fuck about and day after day. Like how much can your threshold for the stress, it builds over time.
Yeah.
So it comes with a lot of experience. You need those battle scars to be, who you are today. Um, but then like now, fast forward, let's go in a little bit into the future. Why are you laughing?
What's the future about? Tell me.
Would you ever be down to be on Selling Sunset? Because I have a guy, I have a friend.
Ooh.
One of my fraternity brothers is actually the executive producer.
No way, really?
Swear.
I mean, listen, if someone wants to call me on, I don't mind.
Yeah.
For a good role, of course. I don't want to be a guinea pig.
So you would be down to be on Selling Sunset? We can
Why
make
not?
it. We can make it happen.
Be the first brown girl on there.
Ooh, this is the day and age for brown people to be.
Desi girl.
Boom, boom. This is the day and age for brown people. All South Asia. To be
Yeah.
like on Bollywood. I mean, not Bollywood, Hollywood. Oh my god.
Really brown.
I'm so brown, dude. I'm so brown. But yeah, this is the day and age where South Asians can actually, are going to be in Hollywood and it's in a growing number. So, Skylar, if you're watching this, we got a
Hi,
guest for you to be on
Skylar.
Selling Sunset. But that's a joke. But all jokes aside, what does success in real estate look like to you? Like, what does your future state look like?
Let's see. Obviously, grow a real estate portfolio of my own. I want to, let's see. I want to have a real estate portfolio that's kind of worldwide and in certain places where I'd like to travel. Of course, mainly in US, and then a few little tropical areas so I can enjoy when the weather's right.
Yeah.
I love to help, especially newer agents,
Mm-hmm.
even agents, my peers, older agents as well. Like, however, I can help or support, if there's a new software, if there's a way of marketing. I'm an open book. I have nothing to hide, and I feel like you pay it forward.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of agents out there that are very knowledgeable, and I love to pick their brains. So I feel like it's a two-way street.
Yeah. So your real estate goal is to have property worldwide of your own portfolio, and also give back. It sounds like, right?
Yeah, I actually have a few foundations that charitable foundations that I give
Shout them
back
out.
to as
Shout them
well.
out. What are
Good
what are these
Karma.
charitable foundations?
Good Karma is my biggest one right now that I've been working hand in hand with.
Shout out
When
to Vishal Narayan.
Yes, hi Vishal. Let's see. When I was part of Women's Council Realtors Los Angeles, I did some charitable work there. As far as, let's see, we did a Spread the Love drive, getting teddy bears for orphanages and any other donations. We actually just did that this year with Good Karma as well. And I like to donate a portion of my commission checks to Good Karma
Hmm.
just to kind of help out. I can't give my time. My sister does give her time. So that's how I like to
Yeah.
contribute.
And then I went to a couple of their events, and the Good Karma events are they put on they again, they're charity for good causes, for children, for homeless folks. It's a really good organization that he put together, especially over quarantine, which is you know impossible to even fathom because a lot shut down. So
That
good on
man
Good Karma.
has really a heart of gold.
Yeah,
If
he
I've
really
met
does.
anyone in the world, that man has a
And
heart
his
of gold.
dad and his father
And his father,
and his
yes.
father. Um, and then what is your best piece of life advice in general? Just being so battle scarred, battle wounded, and just so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You noticed? Let's see. As far as real estate is concerned, or
Anything,
just
any life
anything.
advice?
Let's see. For real estate, don't feel pressure to buy something. You buy when you feel like you're ready. Again, the best advice I would give on that aspect would just be to just speak to a loan officer. I'm happy to give any recommendations, just so you know where you stand. You know, I know there's people out there that, they could be ashamed of their credit score or their lack of income, or they don't really know how to go over all the documentation or where to even start. And, just give me a call. I'm happy to provide my details. It's easy as one, two, three. And again, it's a fact finding mission. There is no pressure to buy anything. It's merely for you to kind of step on the ladder as your first step to the home buying process. Let's see, in life, I don't know, man. There's a lot of lessons
Biggest
I've
piece
learned.
of life advice.
I don't even have one to give right now. Oh, this is one that I'm still learning. Learn how to say no respectfully. Learn how to respect your time, learn how to respect your energy, learn how to respect yourself.
Hmm.
And that to me has been coming into a form of no, saying no to others, and not saying no in a bad way or disrespectfully, but knowing how to kind of put yourself first, prioritizing your needs, your wellness, your mental health, or just, having time with your own family, learning to say no to other things to focus on what's more important.
I really love that. I only recently learned how to say no,
It's
and
hard.
it's hard. It's sometimes like your heart says yes, but like for your own mental health, your time, your energy, you got to take care of your own finances. Got to say no. Got to say no. No, I really love that. Any last things you want to put into the recording, into the podcast? Full forum on you, open forum.
Um, I want to say congratulations. Not very many people know this, but I've actually known Simrit for a very, very long time. We are practically family
She's my
in
sister.
more ways than one. And I think this is amazing what you're doing, with you putting this together. You have a lot of passion within yourself, and you give 100% on all of the things that you do. And to see you come to this point with an idea that you had, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah, more or
Maybe?
less. Yeah.
Yeah. About 6 months ago. And then you delivered. You made it happen. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Again, thank you, Sheena Kapil, for joining today. Thanks about your real estate journey. If you need a real estate agent, please follow her on Instagram. She's at
Sheena Kapil.
and she's wonderful. She lives out in LA, so easy to get a hold of her. and she's a boss ass
Bitch.
person. Thank you everyone for watching Simulated Podcast episode number 5. Yo, you got me teary-eyed on the last one. So thank you for joining. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Yeah.
We did it.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.